Hello, dear Gemini. How are you? Welcome. I hope you're doing very, very well. Gemini, let's see what your energies are going to be like at this time so you can use them to your advantage and be able to see a situation from a new point of view. This reading is general. Take what take what resonates with you and remember that it applies to all those who have their sun, rising moon, or Venus in the sign of Gemini. You can supplement your readings with those for your different signs to have a much more personalized horoscope. Let's channel a message for the sign of Gemini for this moment. Gemini, you start with the Hanged Man, the Queen of Swords, the Six of Swords, and the Sun. The light is getting closer, growth is approaching, right? Vitality, clarity. This is surely very related to the lead up to your season, right? But you're about to start Gemini season, right? Where the sun will be entering your sign. But before the sun enters, you have to cleanse. You have to clear things out. And we're seeing it ourselves in these energies that speak to us of a Gemini who is making decisions without hesitation, who is being very honest with himself and has decided to cut. He has decided to break with the past, to break repetitive patterns. Um, I, I, I see that there is a situation here that for each of you may have been different, right? But it has to do with a situation that has, it may have caused some discomfort, something that forced you in some way to see the situation from a completely new, different, and distinct perspective. It's like saying, if I hadn't gone through this, I wouldn't have been able to see it. It's that ability sometimes to go through discomfort and start questioning yourself, right? Also, separating the ego, right, from your being, the needs that the ego has, right? The need for recognition, for believing you're right. Maybe it has a little to do with this, right? Letting this go. You let go to make space. You let go so you can embrace the new, so that the new can come into your life. But I feel like now there's no doubt about what you want to cut off. This can symbolize something different for each of you. Cero que se corta, it can be anything from emotional patterns to an old personality. It can be beliefs. But here the important thing is that there are no doubts about what is going to be cut off. We see a Gemini who is having a major shift in perspective. This is like a 180-degree turn. And a Gemini who is already betting on his new future, on his new horizon. You are in transition towards the new. I feel that there may be some days this week where you feel the need to turn inward, reflect, and do some inner searching, right? For conscious meditation. And in that meditation, see what is no longer necessary in your life and what needs to be left behind. The truth will come, and you will be very firm with that decision about what needs to be cut off. Notice that the key lies in the sun, right? That's the place where you are heading toward a place of authentic expression, right? That you can express yourself with total freedom, that you express your originality, your creativity, the love and friendship you connect with through these energies. And it's a step toward growth and the development of a new life. You might be feeling strong, right? They could be energies of detachment, energies of endings, of closures, of dissolution. Even letting go of things, these can also be material things that no longer serve any purpose in your life, right? Thank you. Gemini who's open to new things. You have the Three of Wands, the Page of Cups, the Six of Wands, and the Page of Swords. Gemini. We have talked a lot about the topic of the future. We have talked a lot about this new vision of life. I feel like a lot of these issues are becoming tense in your emotional world, right? They might be present in your relationship with your partner, whether emotional or romantic. And something has happened. Something has happened with this person. But I feel that what happened was necessary because it's something that it made you open your eyes. It made you make decisions. It made you get to know the other person better, right? I see it as a kind of realization or having come to a conclusion about an emotional situation. The truth is that the information coming isn't just information. It's something I feel can help the relationship progress because I see that there's a big achievement here. There's recognition of the other person, right? And I also see that this is a relationship with quite significant potential for future development. So it seems to me that this pattern we've talked about what's being left behind, is very much related to emotional patterns. It could be behaviors, it could be ways of expressing oneself. So that you can open yourself up to a new vision in love and in emotional expression. Now, with a different kind of information, with different beliefs, with a different approach, above all, right? To start approaching a relationship from a different place. That's why I feel this also has to do with a change in what attracts you on a personal level. Now I'm attracted to this. Now these are my values. This is what I see for the future in a relationship. This is what I see with that person down the line. There's a great vision for the future here. And that's really very clear. But many times, you need to go through those uncomfortable situations that take you out of your comfort zone so you can open your eyes, right? So we can realize what we really want, what we really don't want in our lives anymore, what brings us closer to our best version or to allow a relationship to prosper. Right? Let's see what else we have. I feel like there could be some communication coming soon. Pretty straightforward with this person, very intense. But necessary. Gemini, let's go. What else do we have? You have the Ace of Cups here, the Ten of Wands, the Knight of Swords, and the Four of Wands. I really feel it strongly as the new stage, right? The new stage that's beginning. This could also be a restart, right? A new stage with a vision for the future in a relationship. But look at what they've endured here, right? Because of that discomfort that has turned things around, which has allowed us to see, and thanks to that, start to project a new reality for the future with this person. And yes, it's true that at the beginning we see here that there's a sense of demand, there's a kind of maybe work, right? A sense of commitment. But I feel that this is really going to be manageable. It's going to move forward easily. I think that you, Gemini, are at a moment where you might be starting a new stage in your romantic relationship. And where the relationship is going to start going down a completely different path. We don't know. I mean, it's not about you having to hold up the whole relationship, right? It's not about one person holding things up or about being there just to please, right? That if I'm not the one holding up the relationship, it falls apart. No. But it's about letting go. It's about talking. It's about honesty. It's about communicating, being open with the other person, right? And reaching that agreement. I feel that this new stage is a new stage where you start to communicate freely, to speak your truth, to start expressing what you feel, to tell someone else what your needs are, to have that uncomfortable conversation, which can be really, really liberating. And I feel like there's something here about being able to speak, about being able to let go of something that you wanted to communicate, that you wanted to say. And I really feel like it's going to be like, wow, I was able to do it, right? Like I dared to do it. I dared to communicate it. Now I feel lighter. I feel really free. I feel like I can express myself in my own way, in my own style, spontaneously, that I don't have to carry this anymore. And I can communicate it freely. So I feel that the topic of communication is going to be key these days. And it's also what's going to start to redefine the future of a relationship. Okay. Let's see what we have in the Oracle deck. And I read Gemini. Let's get to your advice or message. You have here card number 6, indecision. All right. We have Venus in Taurus here. Notice that with this energy, of course, it's the Lover's card. Of course, with this energy, with this card, you have to make a decision. There are two options, there are two paths, but I feel that you already know the answer. Maybe what the energy is telling you is to open up emotionally and affectionately, not to close yourself off like this person, and that you let yourself be guided by your conscience and your heart, right? In the choice you have to make. I mean, maybe it's about not letting yourself be carried away by superficialities, but deciding more with your heart, deciding more with your feelings. What is your intuition telling you? What are you going to choose? What are you going to decide at this moment? What stays? What goes? Dear, dear Gemini, this is what we've seen for all of you. Have a beautiful day, and we'll see you here next time.